You know, it's like, you shit on the floor. Now I'm going to rub your nose in it. You know, like
Who are you people hanging out with?
Or
It is the 15-minute morning show podcast. We've got lots to cover. Let's go. We've got Scotty B in the serial killer podcast room. Yes. I've got Scary, and there's Gandhi, and there's Straight Nate, who's a little still giddy. Yeah. We'll explain that in a second. Here's Danielle, and here's Garrett. And I do believe we have a special guest today. Producer Sam is coming into the podcast. I don't see her on the camera.
I'm here. I'm logging in.
Okay. Let's start with you, Straight Nate.
Okay.
Yesterday at this time, we had Kyle Creek, the captain. He was on with us for the podcast. He was awesome.
Yes.
Just a super cool guy. Gandhi, thank you for bringing him on the podcast. That was a great gift for us.
I'm so glad you guys like him as much as I do. I think he's awesome.
Well, we like him a lot. Nate's in love with him.
Yeah, man. I saw it as it was happening. I was like, this is a moment. This is going to turn into something.
It is. You know what? No, hold on a second. This is a very interesting thing for us to sort of investigate. When you have kind of a crush, but not in a sexual way, on someone of the same sex or the opposite sex, you really want to be their friend. Yeah. But you're going to come on too strong, and how do you break through that wall and figure it out? So Gandhi helped. She was a wing woman. She helped you a little bit.
Yeah.
Matchmaker.
I got you, Nate. No problem.
I mean, as a guy, and we've talked about this before, and I know this sounds trite, but it's hard to make friends as a guy, especially as you get older.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have your group of friends that you've had for years, and that's it. And if you find someone that you think you can connect with, because like it or not, there's people out there that we realize are perfect matches for us, platonically, but we just don't know it. And then you find that person, you're like, I'd really like to hang out with this dude.
Yeah.
I'd have a great time. But how do you do that? That's the hard thing.
I think it's hard across the board, except for women to women. I think women make friends very easily. Yep. I mean, it happens in the bathroom at bars all the time. Like, oh my God, you're so pretty. No, you're so pretty. Let's be friends. And here you go. I think if women and men want to be friends when they're adults, I think that can get kind of sticky too, because you just want to be friends, but maybe one person thinks the other one's trying to do something. I don't know.
Right. And you don't want to try too hard. For instance, Alex and I have these new friends, and it seems like when I text them, they seem to be a little standoffish, but that may be their texting style. I don't know. Yeah. So we both agreed we're going to back off and see where it goes, because you got to be careful. You can't pedal the metal too much with these people.
It really is. I was talking to a friend about this who's back in the dating world, and he's like, this sucks. This is hard. And I'm like, you kind of have to do the dance. Huh?
Who's this friend?
Scotty.
I didn't mention any names. But you kind of have to do this dance, whether it's a guy friend or if it's a girlfriend, and you kind of have to do that dance. You can't come on too strong. I mean, unless alcohol's involved and you're like, hey, let's do shots. And then you instantly can become somebody's friend. But if you're just meeting them on the street or outside a studio, good luck.
It's tough. Chance. It's a tough dance because you want to be yourself too.
Yeah.
And if who you are is somebody who comes on strong, then you should not hide that. But at the same time, it might really drive people away. So
right. You got to be careful, just like in a romantic relationship. Okay, then reverse roles. What if you meet someone at a party or at work, whatever, and then they seem to really be pushing you to go out, have drinks, be friends, and you just aren't feeling it? You're like,
Yeah. I have a lot of people.
If someone meets me at this point and wants to be my friend, I'm like, red flag. There's something wrong. You clearly don't know me that well.
There are 3 people that are in my texts. This one kid I met at a promotion a few years ago, and he continues to text me, hey, let's hang out, let's have drinks. Hey, after Jingle Ball, what are you guys doing?
You gave him your number.
Well, yeah, at the time. And
I
don't have the bandwidth and I don't have the room in my life for my current friends. So I'm trying to still balance that. And I always said that as I got older.
If they had something to offer that was exciting, you would probably hop to it.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think you would, for sure.
Yeah.
I think if you could relate to this friend, you would hang out more and text more.
This guy's like 10 years younger than me.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you had something like a baseline of something to relate to that person with, you would. Like, I have a friend, Joe, that I just kind of met about 2 years ago. Every time he texts me, I get a smile on my face.
Aw.
See, there you go. But Scary, what if this guy who's befriending you or attempting to was like a popular food blogger,
right?
Or influencer?
Well, then
would you find room in your in your bandwidth
I mean, if he
for
can
him?
get me the hot reservation, at a great restaurant, maybe. No, I know, but you have to have more to it. There needs to be substance to a friendship.
That is substance for you.
I don't want to be a user, though.
As guys, does it matter? Like, say you're a swinging single. Does it matter how hot the other guy is? Like, if you meet a guy and he's really good looking, do you want to be friends with him more or less?
Personality
Yeah,
for me.
same.
Okay.
I mean, I'm instantly kind of drawn to looks. I'll be honest. But then as
Is
soon
that
as
because you're so hot?
kind of, but then like they have to say something, and then you have yesterday he just. God, his vibe was awesome.
I really think the first thing, though, that attracted you to him was his beard.
Well, yeah. Well, because, no, here's the
Because
thing.
you're so jealous of the beard like that.
Here's the thing. If you are a guy that works out or you have great facial hair, you never get compliments from women. You get them from guys that want to look like you, right?
Yeah,
like that's
I guess.
so.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I can see
No
that.
woman ever compliments a guy's mustache, but guys compliment mustaches all the time.
I do, but I try to be careful because I don't want people to think I'm hitting on them.
Well, that's
Like,
your
great
problem.
beard.
That's you lead people on. Guys.
Yes, that's it.
I remember yesterday Kyle came in and was like, "Oh, I was going to wear my Stetson if I knew like my cowboy hat." And Nate's like, "Oh, you should have worn it. You would have looked great."
Who was that? He knew a Stetson. I mean, I don't know. People probably think that's a cologne.
Can I touch your beard?
As a general rule, I don't think single guys want to be friends with guys hotter than them because then they get the women all the time.
No, I don't think so because you know why? You get like even if it's sloppy seconds. If someone comes over to him and he doesn't want it, sometimes it passes it over to the uglier one.
Like overflow?
Yeah, clearly you didn't watch Entourage.
Yeah.
Theory.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
there's too
Turtle.
much,
Seconds.
Scary
Trickle
turtle.
down effect.
if there's too much for Kyle, he can't handle it all.
Scary,
Passes it over to me.
is Scary the turtle of our morning show? Yeah. I think
You're all
he is.
terrible.
Well, okay, we'll keep an eye on this budding relationship.
I can't wait.
And Gandhi, thank you for helping be the what do you call it? The hinge on this always moving fluid relationship.
Happy to do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Nate.
Hey, so Nate also said we have to bring in producer Sam.
Well, speaking of relationships, Sam brought something up on the show yesterday that Scary and I exchanged a glance on. When
This already sounds suspicious to me.
Sam
Go ahead.
talked about quote unquote assigning duties around the household. So do you assign yourself duties, or is this you assigning
Yeah,
things?
and if you guys were listening, you would have literally heard me say that in the same sentence.
I heard
Tell
that.
him.
See, Sam, I
Right?
didn't. My takeaway was not the same as theirs. I just thought, hey, when you have roommates or a relationship in the same dwelling, you each sometimes have things you do.
But I have
that's
a feel. Can I explain this a little bit? Only because
Oh,
I'm sure there
absolutely.
are other people, much like Scary and Nate, who heard one word and then turned off. for
Men,
the
am I
next
right?
few
I mean,
moments.
yeah. Call me crazy.
It's not me giving him assignments. We each have assignments because it's easier when one person has a lane. Like,
Maybe if
I-
you said responsibility, then people wouldn't be like, oh.
I don't care if people are that triggered.
But
from
who's
the word.
doing the assigning? I mean,
Exactly.
do you have I imagine you have a
She
poster-
just explained it to you.
Okay, but does William do the assigning, or do you have a big poster board? You put little gold stars when he does
I live
something.
in 600 square feet. There's no room for a poster board. But we just figure what your strengths are kind of thing. So he makes the bed. I get out of bed first. He's still in the bed. I can't make the bed. I clean the bathroom and the kitchen. He takes Savannah to the vet because his schedule
Now, what
allows
happens to
for
him
that.
if he doesn't do his assignments?
First of all, you didn't think
I come in
Wait,
and
let's
I
see.
smack
What
talk
do you
him on the
think?
radio.
What do you think
I
happens?
get a
smack
gold
talk
star.
him on the radio.
Well, I don't
happened
know.
2 days ago.
I just know. I know some. I can't even mention names. I know some people in relationships where if the guy does something wrong, he gets his nose rubbed in it. It's like you shit on the floor. Now I'm going to rub your nose in it. Like
Who are you
or they
people
get
hanging out with?
or if he's disobedient to her, she screams.
You had a problem
all-
with my terminology?
She screams all three of his names out in public.
Maybe it's time for new friends, Scary.
No, but I'm like, oh my God, I would never.
Well, Scary.
want to be in a
Okay.
relationship
Hold on.
like
Okay,
that.
reel this back. Let's go back to one of the assignments, as you
Okay.
call them.
Okay,
Is since he sleeps later, he makes the bed,
Right.
right? So what happens if you come home and the bed's unmade?
I mean,
Where does that go from there? Hey,
usually it's ignored unless it's like a bunch of days in a row.
And
they'll
then?
be like, dude, make the bed. I'll be like, oh, okay, sorry. And that's as dramatic as it gets. I don't think I need to use all three names. But it's just like, it works for roommates. This isn't just even a relationship thing. If you guys can't, figure out whose turn it is when, because neither person should be responsible for the entirety of a household, then you each have a lane.
Okay, thanks for clarifying, because I took something away from that was completely different.
When I saw that, I could see could see the two of you and Nate, looking. What?
I never less 5 hours married to Sam.
Oh, scary. We wouldn't get to hour 1. Don't worry about that.
Wouldn't even get to the altar.
Don't worry about that,
Do you think Sam wants to marry you?
I have redeeming qualities.
I do have a question. Sam, if he doesn't do, in my sister's house, her husband is supposed to be the one that washes the dishes a lot of the times because she cooks and whatever. Yeah. She will let the dishes pile up in the sink because she goes, I'm not doing it. It's his responsibility. I'm not doing it. And she would just let them sit there for days.
I mean, I can't cut my nose to spite my face. Right. I might be washing dishes huffing, but I can't live in that.
Right. Wouldn't be able to do it either.
Couldn't do that.
She can do it.
I would. You know what I will do a standoff for is clean clothes. He'll wash his clothes and then bring it up to the apartment, and sometimes it'll sit in the living room for a week and a half, and I will just move the clothes closer and closer to the couch. We'll put it right in front of the television. That's my little annoying passive aggressive. Here's our new roommate. His name is Clean Clothes. He moved in about a week and a half ago. Where should we put him? That's the thing I will leave because it's not dirty.
Wow.
But dishes. No.
Brandon says the scariest thing I say is, "It's all good. I'm just gonna do it myself." He says, whenever you say that, I'm like, shit, I gotta do it.
Exactly. And it works.
It does.
It's effective as hell.
Don't fight about it. Just do it yourself.
Rewind to the fact that Scary, as an example, said that a spouse would shit on the floor.
What in the Johnny Depp?
And then the other one they would rub their nose in it.
Right.
It's an analogy.
You shit on the floor.
I want to rub your nose in it.
Either,
yeah.
By the way.
Hey, I think a relationship should be give and take. I think there's got to be sacrifice, and there's got to be, you got to meet in the middle, and I get all that. I understand that. It's just when, I don't know.
Scary, you only get it in theory, though. You've never put it into practice. So you're like,
there's
okay.
that.
You give the person who cleaned your house assignments.
Oh,
You.
No. Oh, I'm paying them. That has nothing to do.
I pay William in a different way.
All right.
No, I'm just saying. I just didn't know if there's at one point you guys had a reward system going. You guys had some kind of a chart when you guys were dating. No. I must have been thinking
not a literal
of
one.
Oh, okay.
No.
Scary.
Wow. I would love to meet the version of myself that is in Scary's head. She sounds very interesting.
She's a tyrant.
Wow.
A tyrant, I say.
She's something else.
Well, with that said, I think we've had a nice round here at the 15-Minute Morning Show podcast.
I like that.
Good chat.
I'm going to go shit in the corner.
Alex is going to rub your nose in it?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to rub my nose in it because we're really into that scat thing. I don't know.
Always a pleasure, guys.
Scotty, your microphone is on.
Oh, I forgot.
Jesus.
What are they talking
I
about?
don't know.
No, okay, just a little backstory. So, Elvis, you just texted me and asked me if there was any work to do after the show.
Yes.
So I texted Andrew and said, hey, is there anything to do after the show? And he literally just sent it. So I showed him the text from you at 9:44, and it just came through. He's like, why are you throwing me under the bus? I'm like, I didn't throw you under the bus.
I was just asking. Okay, it's no big deal. Let's all calm down.
Asshole.
Oh, my God.
Rub his nose in it.
Oh, my God. Someone's shitting on the floor. All right, well, look, we got to get out of here. Have a beautiful day.
Bye,
Goodbye.
everybody.